if you are multiplying two square roots together, the rule is if you have root A multiplied by root B, then you have the square root of A times B. So whatever's underneath the root, known as your radicands, you multiply those together. So in this one here, the square root of 2 multiplied by the square root of 7, that's going to be the square root of 2 times 7. And so our answer is the square root of 14. There are a handful of shortcuts out there. For example, if I had the square root of 5 squared, that really means the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. If we apply this rule, root A times root B is root A times B, then this is the square root of 5 times 5. And if I have the square root of 5 times 5, I have the square root of 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. So notice when I squared a square root, those are opposites. Like if you take a number and you add 12 and subtract 12, you're back to where you started. If you take a number and multiply by 6 and then divide by 6, you're right back where you started. Squaring and square roots are opposites. So if you square root a number and then you turn around and square it, you've just undone the square root. So the square root of 5 squared is just plain 5. So you can skip this process if you know when you multiply identical roots, you just get the number underneath. So in this one, rather than go through this process, if I'm squaring a square root, I know that the answer is just going to be 7. Or let's say the square root of 3 squared, rather than go through the process, I know that the answer is just 3. Okay, so if they're exactly the same, I just get the number underneath. But otherwise, root 2 times root 7 is root 2 times 7, which is root 14. For some reason, students that are doing this for the first time try to leave the square root on there, and that is not the same thing. Square root of 5 is not square root of 5 squared. So make sure you just be careful of that. All right.